Okay, welcome everyone. This is our weekly acupuncture meeting where we discuss difficult cases with our residents. This is Kyleen. She's our senior resident. She's been here coming up on 3 years. So, what do you have to talk about today?
Okay, so today, my infamous blood pressure cases. We have a 53-year-old female. She comes to us, her chief complaint is high blood pressure with white coat syndrome specifically. She also has a pretty severe fight or flight in her, and we've been working with her for several months. So far, her blood pressures during the week are perfectly fine, and yet when she comes to the acupuncture treatment, her blood pressures go through the roof. So, we have put her on a fight or flight formula, which I believe she's done very well with, but we still haven't made much progress with the actual white coat syndrome.
Okay, first of all, with these kinds of, this is primary hypertension, it's difficult to treat. The good news is that apparently, according to her, blood pressure is normal at home. Mm-hmm. And yet it elevates when she's in the office. So quite frankly, we don't need to treat that, quite frankly. We need to treat more underlying conditions, in her case, a chronic fight or flight problem. Fight or flight in Chinese medicine is your classic heart-kidney syndrome. And how it looks in the pulse is that the Chur pulse is too high and the Sun pulse is too low on the left arm. That means the heart is weak and the adrenal gland is caused a flaring up of ministerial fire, which has pushed the kidney pulse too high in the Chur position. So when you put your 3 fingers on the left hand, you can instantly feel that your the Chur finger is way too high, because that pulse should be deep, and that the heart pulse is too low. That the heart pulse should be shallow, and the Chur pulse should be deep, and yet these are reversed. So this is called a reversed hook pulse, and almost always, not always, but almost always, they have an aggravated liver. You can almost count on it. And so the question is, first of all, what are these people experiencing? And then how to treat it. What they're experiencing is what I call an existential angst. They have a constant low level of fearfulness, and it runs them. And that's exactly what's causing the white coat syndrome. Because she comes in, and she immediately is, because she's always frightened anyway, and so she comes in and now she's even more frightened because she doesn't know quite what will happen, and bang, up goes her high blood pressure. So the cause of her high blood pressure, even though she's been diagnosed with primary hypertension, which means cause unknown, there is a cause, and the cause is chronic stage 3 fight or flight. Meaning the adrenal gland is pumping out too much adrenaline, too much cortisol, too much norepinephrine, and it makes her very excitable. These people are always have to be moving. They're busy all the time, busy, 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 until they drop. And you can always ask them, you'd like to stay busy? And they'll say, oh yeah, I'd like to be busy. And the reason they like to be busy, they don't like to be quiet. And why don't they like to be quiet? Because here comes the fear. Here comes the uneasiness. So all this running around and doing stuff in their lives is basically a compensation for this uneasy feeling. And the question is, why do they have that? Invariably, it's caused by a scary event that happened sometime, usually in their early life. They almost drowned, they watched someone die, there was a divorce in the family at a very early age, mother and father were abusive, or they were abused. Any of those things can cause it. Or it could be a busy business person who is under an enormous amount of stress for a long period of time can develop this pulse. But once you see it clinically and you recognize it, it's very easy to treat. We have 2 approaches herbally. This is not an acupuncture cure. This is an herbal approach. If the hand is really hot, then you can simply use Zerbai Diwanwang, which is 20 grams or 20%. You can use Sheng Mai San, 40%, and Tian Wang Bu Xin Dang, 40%. And when you give it to them, in about 2 to 3 days, they will feel much calmer and much stronger. If the hands are cold, then you want to give Long Dan Shay Gan Tong 50 and Ba Wei Di Wang Wang 50. And you might think that the Long Dan Shay Gan Tong is too cold, but Ba Wei Di Wang Wang is more powerful. This formula will actually heat them up. Their hands now will become warm. And what will happen is she continues to take this formula. Watch the white coat syndrome go away. It'll simply vanish. She will feel much calmer and stronger. It's very odd for these people in the first few days of taking this formula because they feel as if unattached. They feel just detached from everything. Normally these people are highly aggressive and reactive. They will jump on everything. It's difficult sometimes to talk to them. And now they're simply watching you. They feel like an observer and they're not reacting like they normally would. And this kind of feeling is odd for them, but it brings a great deal of solace for these people. They feel much, much better. You will have done them a tremendous service by fixing that reverse pulse with this herbal formulation. And the primary hypertension will go away. Don't chase the hypertension with hypertension drugs or herbs. You chase it with this approach to treat the heart-kidney imbalance. Okay? Right. Thank you. It'll go